The first thing is these algorithms care about watch time more than anything. And what watch time is essentially how long is someone watching your piece of content. And if the higher the watch time of your content is, the higher the algorithm will pick it up and showcase it to more people, because it's signaling to the algorithm that as a result of your video, people are staying on the platform longer. And so as a result, these platforms can serve more ads to these people, and then that platforms make more money as a result. So watch time is huge.
You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. Downloadable audio episodes can be found in the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie, Calls on Call Extraordinary Answering Service, as well as the Bold Business Book. And today we're welcoming / preparing to learn from Ibrahim. Oh my gosh, is it Mohmed?
Mohmed, yep.
Mohmed. All right. Founder of Taja. Let me try that again. We are welcoming / preparing to learn from Ibrahim Mohmed, founder of Taja, who I got to say, Ibrahim, I'm excited because we were just talking about this before. We create shorts with this software. So we're talking to the founder of a guy that created a product that we're actually using. So that's kind of monumental in our world. So I'm excited. So Ibrahim, how is it going today?
No, thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that you guys are using Taja actively, and my day's going well, week's going well. It's crazy that we're in September, but mid-September that is. But yeah, just trudging through and trying to end the year on a high note.
Yeah, fair. Tell me just a quick history. I know my experience with Taja, but I have no idea how old this software is or really how you got started. So let's start with, how long have you been around?
Yeah, Taja's been around for 26 months, so 2 years and 2 months. We started back in December of 2022. Basically, I ran an agency before that managed influencers, helped them build and monetize their content on social, primarily YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat, all the ones that have AdSense revenue associated with them. And we had a lot of clients that had podcasts on YouTube, but we just didn't have the bandwidth or demand it, or we didn't have the bandwidth to keep up with it. And so at that time, ChatGPT had just rolled out. So my partner and I started looking at how AI could affect our business and help us streamline our business. So we went on this whole discovery realm and looked at what are the key pain points, identified those key pain points, and then we used Taja as a tool to help us streamline the business. And then in July 2023, we decided to roll it out to everyone.
That's awesome. So has it worked for your clients that were using you to market, or essentially, if I understand correctly, they were looking to become influencers?
They were already influenced. So the clients I used to work with, they were already influencers. They were like prominent NBA players, former NBA players. They just wanted to get in the media space. So they wanted us to run their podcast, essentially repurpose their podcast into multiple forms of media, such as, clips, shorts, etc., and put it up on their channels. So we were running their clips channels actually for them. And, the first channel we ever built was, went from 0 to 100K subscribers in 14 months using Taja.
Well, that's incredible. That is super incredible. Tell me a story about the back end, because ChatGPT comes out, the AI revolution essentially is happening and really got fired up. I mean, what are we talking, November 22?
Yeah, December 22, yeah.
So did you have a programming background to help you figure out how to turn the AI and use it as a tool to build this whole program, or how did that work?
No, my partner did. My partner, he's an engineer. He's been in building AI tools since like 2015. He's been in the space. So he's understood it well, all that. He actually sent me ChatGPT, and he's like, hey, this thing just came out. Do you think it could help your business at all? And then that's when we started just going down the discovery lane and
And
figuring
yes is
out
the
what can
answer, it
work.
turns
And
out.
then he was the one building it, and I was the one, you know, putting it in people's hands, testing it out, and selling it.
That's awesome. So when did you decide to actually spin it off to a product that you offered independent of the other services that you had with your other business?
Yeah, July 2023, we decided to do that.
Okay. And was that a big conversation to decide to do that versus just keeping it more or less in house?
No, not a big conversation. I think we were always building for like an element of putting it out to the masses. It was just figuring out what's the pain point. So how can we leverage the agency and the relationships we have with the agency to build something that'd be useful for a lot of people. So that was always the forefront. I've always wanted to be in the product space just because the impact's greater, the scalability is higher, and you own the product in comparison to as an agency the the you have a few clients, and you're kind of at the mercy of those clients. Product is the same thing, you're at the mercy of the customer, but it's more of a partnership than it is from working with a client.
It's interesting you say that because one of my previous guests, pretty recently, he was in more of a physical product space, I believe, or maybe service, whatever it was. He wanted to transition to a software product because he said, we just want to sell usernames and passwords.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me think, like, oh, that is pretty smart. Shy of the whole tech support and updating the software and all that kind of stuff, your customer base possibility is way bigger, incredibly larger than what you could do with selling a physical product or something of that nature. So that's cool. I like that idea. Ibrahim, do you still have the marketing business essentially for influencers?
Yeah, but it's like not as active as it used to be. It's more on
Okay,
autopilot. We have some clients on Snapchat we manage, but that's more, a lot of things are on autopilot there.
gotcha. So is Taja taking up more of your time now?
Yes, Taja is taking up more of my time.
All right. And was that anticipated when you created it, or that just evolved over the course of the past couple of years?
It was anticipated. I wanted to dial back. And like I said, I wanted to work on a product over a service. Um, just because it's a lot of times in the service industry, like I said, you're at mercy to the client, or like, especially what I was doing, your, um, your days and your workflow is dictated by how the client's feeling. And so those were things that were just too unpredictable. So I didn't want to be in that space.
Tell me a little bit about dealing with influencers. Maybe dealing with is the wrong word. Working with influencers. Some of them have a little bit of a big head or ego where they try to flex a little bit, I guess, with
Um,
that over top of you, or were you more or less on the same level? We're here to help you maintain your influencer status or grow it. So we're actually
yeah,
all on the
not
same
an
team.
ego, I would say. I just think, um, a lot of times creators and stuff, what makes them great is like their feelings, their emotion, how in tune their things. But that could also be the other side of it, which is that is a detriment to them.
Okay.
But it's also what makes them who they are. So like it's more about understanding that. And as creators, they're all businesses, but um, they're businesses with emotions. Like they're human beings. Like there's nothing you can do to avoid that. But um, so a lot of times they have their emotions flow up and down, up and down. You just got to ride that wave depending on the day. But it's not an ego thing. It's nothing like that. It's just how they operate, understanding that that is also what makes them great at what they do. And so, just for me, it was that I'm a Type A person. So like that element of riding these waves doesn't really work for me well, just because it's not my personality.
Gotcha. It's interesting you said that, a business with personality. Or would you say business with personality or business with emotion?
With emotion.
With emotion. That I would say there's got to be challenging, just like any working with any person is challenging. whether it's
Yeah,
employee
yeah.
or manager or whatever.
Yeah, but when you're managing like different brands, like let's say Apple or whatever, it's more like black and white. Obviously, you're working with people, but Apple doesn't have a like human emotions.
Yeah, I imagine something like Apple or Pepsi or Nike or whatever they have. This is the voice of our business, and that's going to be the voice that's probably pretty strict. Where
Yeah,
someone that's more human is going to be like, today is a bad day because of whatever, or a good day because of whatever.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
that someone that's
exactly,
going to
exactly.
change is
Like
not going to
Apple,
be,
all these other ones are just dictated by P&L. Like,
yeah,
what's there? What does that look like? Are we hitting our goals? Are we growing? If not, we need to make a change. But it's not, doesn't have like emotions of like this up and down roller coaster.
sure, that's interesting. Tell me about working. I didn't even, I guess, realize that you were in this influencer space. So I'm curious about this. When you work with them, are you trying to get them on all the platforms, or do some of them focus on one or two because that's where their crowd is? Because
Yeah,
there's
it's a
tons of
case
different
by
social
case
media
uses.
platforms.
It's a case by case for sure. Like the first ever client I ever worked with was, they were big on YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat was their biggest one. They weren't on Twitter. They weren't on, those elements. And other clients I would have would be, I want to go on Twitter. I want to go on TikTok, etc. The main common denominator was always YouTube. YouTube was always the channel and the platform that people wanted to be on. So that was the main common denominator. And then the subs were different of like, where else am I going to grow my presence and stuff? People would more pick their poison on that front. Especially since a lot of our clients focus on AdSense as the revenue source. It wasn't brand partnerships. Everyone wanted YouTube as the main one, because that's the long form platform. That's the one that's been there the longest. It's the one that generates the most revenue. And then they kind of went to other realms. So, as Snapchat evolved and introduced shows, we started doing that. As uh, Twitter evolved and started to, take payments on long form, we did that. As Facebook evolved, etc., those were the platforms we focused on. But it's a case by case.
Gotcha. So the AdSense thing, just so I understand, AdSense, an ad plays when you watch a video on YouTube or something like that, and whoever video it is gets a nut from that. With
Yep,
the
exactly.
other, okay, with the other platforms, the Snapchat and Twitter and all that kind of stuff, is there a way to actually make money off those?
Yeah, there is.
Okay,
So Snapchat back in like 2020 to recently, they more so stopped. They had shows, so we had multiple shows on Snapchat. Uh, but those shows, just like YouTube, would get, you'd see them on Discover feed. You'd click on it if you're interested in it. You'd watch it, and then throughout the show, there's ads. And then the more people you got to watch and view these ads, the more you got paid. So Snapchat was a big business in that realm. Now they have something called mid-roll program, where if you're a content creator, just like how you post Instagrams on stories or stories on Instagram, I should say, Snapchat has a feature like that where you can post stories on their platform. When you post stories, you get paid. So that was a big realm where like a lot of creators in the beginning days were making like six figures a month just posting stories. So a lot of them, it's notorious that like they quit YouTube because they were making more money on Snap for a lower lift of production.
wow. What would be the advantage or disadvantages of posting it strictly on a platform versus posting the same thing on multiple platforms?
For this like use case specifically, or what?
Just broadly, I guess if I got something, I'm getting paid on Snapchat.
Uh huh.
I would want to, even if I'm not making as much money on YouTube, I would still want to post it on both. Or is that a no-no for some
Yeah,
reason?
there's no disadvantage because it's a lot of times it's two different audiences. Like the audience that may be on YouTube that's interested in your content might be different than what's on Snap that's interested in your content. Like Snap skews more towards Gen Z and the younger generations. Um, YouTube might be a different audience. So it's no issue. And the big part too is they're both discovery platforms. Like, um, you know, less people are searching for you and more people are just coming up on your content via discovery. And so at that level, it's about making something compelling. For the game of Snapchat specifically, it's about having a good thumbnail that people click on and watch your content. And getting ranked higher in the discovery feed by having compelling content that people are actively watching, seeing multiple ads from, and the algorithm will notice that and be like, "This is engaging content. I should push this up more and show it to more people, just like that are lookalikes to the person that's actively watching this." So there's nothing wrong with ever posting the same thing across multiple platforms because each algorithm, will pick it up differently and showcase it to audiences, and then you get your content just gets shown everywhere as a multiplier.
Gotcha. All right. Tell me a little bit about how people become influencers. Because you hear these stories about people making six figures a month. And I look at videos like what my kid watches on YouTube and stuff like that. You see tens of millions of views, and the video is 3 days old. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around how. How is a measurable percentage of the world, if you look at, let's just say 10 million people, right? It's not 100% of the world, but it's a measurable percentage of the world.
Yeah.
How are they getting that reach in that short of time? Like, I mean, this is both a curiosity question for how does it work, and like I got videos that have 12 views and stuff like that. So how do we get there? Not
Yeah,
everyone can
yeah.
have 12 million views, right? So I'm just curious how
So
that
it's
works.
a couple things. The first thing of like how to become an influencer, like what should you do? The first element is you have to be authentic. So it's about what's authentic to you. And I think there's a couple questions you should ask yourself whenever you're trying to become an influencer, or even whenever you're making a video, which is who's my target audience? What is something that I know that is unique to me and not many other people know? And then three is what do I want people to walk away with after viewing my content? I think if you can have concise answers for all those, you can understand what your niche is and also what type of content you should be creating. So I think that's the first element is understanding those realms. The second element is once you know that, it's about picking the platform. So right now, what's in is short form content. So that's why a lot of people go to TikTok. That's why a lot of people go to Instagram. And they create these reels and these shorts. So once that's done, and you understand what your niche and what type of content you should be creating, it's now picking the platform. And so when you pick the platform, there's a couple things that need to be done well. The first thing is these algorithms care about watch time more than anything. And what watch time is essentially how long is someone watching your piece of content. And if the higher the watch time of your content is, the higher the algorithm will pick it up and showcase it to more people because it's signaling to the algorithm that as a result of your video, people are staying on the platform longer. And so as a result, these platforms can serve more ads to these people, and then the platforms make more money as a result. So watch time is huge. And with watch time, you can double click into that. And the elements there are like, you have to nail your hook. So your first 3 seconds have to be phenomenal and people have to be very intrigued by that. And then, the content throughout has to be very engaging. So think about like, whether you have a good story to tell or you have, interactive content like B-roll and uh, sound effects and transitions and all these different elements in there. So the biggest thing is watch time. Um, the second element is then your SEO. So from that realm, uh, it's about like what's your tags and all those different elements because these platforms pick up on that front too to understand what the video is about. So those elements matter, and then the other element is the engagement on the video. So obviously, watch time is one, but then your comments, your shares, your likes, all those things all matter.
Got it. That's cool. That's helpful. It's interesting because I look at the videos that we have up there, and the videos that start doing well, all of a sudden they just hockey stick,
Yeah,
and the videos that don't do well, they
flatline.
keep the dust bunnies on them, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the element there is like the algorithm. All algorithm means is audience. So it's not like a complex element. Just think about it as audience. So every time you put up a video, these platforms are trying to work in your favor to find out what type of person is liking this video. And so it'll serve it to a group of like 200, let's say, and then it'll see how they react to it. And if they're reacting well, it'll show it to more of that group and what that group's tendencies and that lookalike group is like. But if it doesn't, that group doesn't like it, then it'll show it to another 200 group, and then kind of see who's fitting and flowing with this video, and then it'll serve it to more of those people that look like that audience.
Got it. All right. I guess I didn't even think about where the video goes first. I suppose that's similar to what Amazon does when you publish a book there. They throw it out and see what kind of play they get. And if they get lots of play, they'll keep throwing it out. And if they don't get much play, then you're stuck with the dust bunnies again.
Yeah, it all works the same. All these algorithms work the same. Even when you buy ads on Facebook and Google, it's doing the same thing. It's trying to understand which group is liking is it liking your interacting with your product the most, and then it's trying to find a signal and serve it to more of that group. So it all works the same.
Gotcha. It's interesting the shorts thing because I wasn't messing with shorts at all
Yeah.
until I saw on YouTube. I think YouTube was looking from a monetization standpoint. You have to have so many views of shorts. And I'm like, all our content is pushing an hour, sometimes more. So
Yeah.
that doesn't fit the shorts category. So that's when we stumbled upon your software. We get Taja rolling, we throw up the shorts. We're getting hundreds of views on shorts. I don't know what a good number is, but in our world, hundreds is great. And it's interesting how that volume just went way
Hmm.
up, which is cool on the one hand, but on the other hand, I'm like, oh man, there are a lot of platforms where people are watching shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you're
mean,
talking TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, a
yeah,
lot of
our
different
attention
realms.
spans are small. I mean, think about even, like, I don't know if you have kids, but, looking at them, it's like the investment of watching a long form video now is very, very small because it's just that's such a big investment to make versus, the old age or like older generations will watch one piece of content for 2 hours a day versus now people want to watch hundreds of content in 2 hours.
Yeah, even my wife was scrolling, and I don't know, it
Yeah.
was people babbling. I don't know what she was watching, but it was, I don't even know if she stuck on there 3 seconds. And it was just scroll to the next, scroll to the next,
Yeah,
scroll.
yeah, yeah. No,
This
it's
person didn't even get out 5 words in 3 seconds. How do you know if you like or don't like whatever it is they have to say? It's
it's
very
crazy the conditioning
peculiar.
people have now on this stuff.
Yeah, it's very peculiar. And asking my kid to see a movie, like sit there for watch the same thing for 2 hours. What?
Yeah, it's not a thing. Even the movie business is in a bad spot. It's like it hasn't recovered real well at all since COVID.
No, very true, very true. Yeah, and you're talking to a guy. I used to work at a movie theater. I worked there 8 years, and so I'm a
Wow.
big movie fan. And it's sad to see. Oh yeah, when you go to the movie theater, sometimes you're like, I get why this is dying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 100%. So,
Tell me a story. The partner that you have with the business,
mhm.
you were with this partner for a while.
Yeah, we went to college together. So we
Okay,
both went to Ohio State. Knew him from that time. Always kept a solid relationship with him throughout the years, and he was always in the startup scene. He worked at some venture-backed firms before that, so um, he's always been in that space. And so, the timing was good of me wrapping up what I was doing on my front, and him as well or not me wrapping up, but me wanting to transition from more agency to product, and then him wrapping up his previous startup.
gotcha. Okay, so he was not a partner with you in the marketing space.
Agency, no, he was not.
Gotcha.
We
Okay,
were
okay,
just good friends during that time.
okay. So who went to who and said, "Hey, man, we got a thing. Let's build this."
Yeah, I mean, he like I said, he mentioned to me uh, that ChatGPT had just came out. So that's when he sent me ChatGPT at the time, and I started playing with it in like late November of 2022. And then he's like, "Let me know, this could help. This could probably help your agency." And then I started to think, and then we started getting on calls, and and then looking at the pain points I had within the agency, and that's how we kind of came at this thing. And we just did months of discovery and really understanding the pain point, understanding the value prop we're providing, and then we launched.
Nice. Tell me a little bit about the AI end, because you hear about ChatGPT, whatever, 4 or 5 coming out. Every time they come out with a new version, does
Mm-hmm.
that break your old mold? So now all of a sudden you have to program new, or does it work
No,
with past stuff?
no, it works well with past stuff. We just update our models to the latest version. So as OpenAI releases a new version, we update our model to that version, and so you're getting constantly the updated output. But
Okay,
it's not breaking our models.
help me understand what that means. I'm not a programmer, so I just know it goes from the number 4 to the number 5. Great. Tell me, what does that mean on your end as far as updating the model?
Yeah, so right now, we'll run on like I think we'll run on 5 right now. So let's say 6 comes out and 6 can do is better at like reasoning or whatever the case may be. So we'll just switch to the latest model. And so for us right now, there's different elements we use OpenAI. So for one, we use it for the metadata, so like helping us come up with the titles, description tags, all those different elements, then helping us come up with shorts, like what are the reading the transcription of the video, identifying the key points in a video. So we'll just update to the newest model, and then as a result, our results get better because the model is better than the previous model. Um, the main element that we have is we have our own proprietary data that we fine tune our models on.
Nice. All right. Because I imagine, I guess from my experience, I have a call answering service.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, where we used to have a little bit of competition, I mean, it was a healthy amount. Now everybody and their mother is like, I can get AI to answer your phones and be all great.
Yeah.
And like in that world, the hype is not nearly as good as the end product, but it's only getting better. So I imagine in your world, it's a similar situation. Everybody and their mother's like, I can make shorts out of your video. I have access to AI like everybody else. So you have to differentiate yourself, I imagine, to make yourself less of a commodity and more of a product. Like Taja is the one that you need to make your shorts, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, there's different elements that we do. I mean, the biggest thing that we see in the market is like a lot of people, like you said, whether with the call center element, it's the same thing with us. It's like a lot of people do turn long form videos into shorts now. There's a lot of competition in that space. The main element that we have over everything is we're a one stop shop solution. So we do multiple things under one platform. So whereas currently the market will purchase 5 different tools for the same job and pay for 5 different subscriptions. We just house it under one, and then you can do all those 5 jobs into one tool and consolidate your workflow. So, that's one element that we provide. And the second element is we're very channel specific. So everything we do is very channel oriented. So we
You still
optimize
with
your
me, Ibrahim?
channel.
Oh, did I lose you again? You with me, Ibrahim? Your
Yep.
screen. Oh, there we go. All right. Your screen locked up on my end and I couldn't hear you.
No worries. Yeah, I was just saying let me know when we're ready.
Yeah, all good. All good.
Yeah, we're very channel specific, so we give you channel specific output that you wouldn't get on a generic level. So the output that you get is different than what another customer gets.
Gotcha. Tell me, you mentioned the 5 things. Can you help me just for the people that may not know necessarily what Taja is beyond helping people create shorts? What are those 5 things?
Yeah, so as an element, I'll just walk you through the steps. As the core of the business or the core of the product, people they create a video, they load that video in our system. We'll optimize it for SEO. So we'll analyze that video, give you your title, your description, your chapters, your tags, your thumbnail, all those different elements we instantly generate for you. So for that element alone, you could probably be using vidIQ for the SEO, so helping you come up with the title, description, chapters, tags. You could use TubeBuddy on that front either, so that's one subscription. The second element is the thumbnails. So for that, you could be using a different software, whether you're using like Dolly or one of the specific thumbnail generators. That's another subscription. The third element is the shorts creation. So once you optimize the video, you can then repurpose the video into shorts, uh, blogs, threads, LinkedIn posts, all that. So for that element, let's say you're using Opus Clip just for shorts generation. For the blog generation and text and thread and all that, you're using a whole nother subscription. So that's four, right? Then the last element that you can do within our platform is schedule your content across all your platforms. So for that, let's say you're using a Hootsuite or you're using one of the other tools that just schedules out content. That's five different subscriptions right there.
Got it. That it's interesting. The scheduling thing is that a fairly new addition?
We released it in January.
Okay, because when I realized that you could do that, it was like, what is
Yeah.
game changer there? Otherwise, you're right there trying to just hit publish, which whether it's me or one of my crew, depending upon the time of day, it may or may not be an ideal time. So
Yeah.
tell me a story. I guess I want to go down the rabbit hole on each of these just for fun. Scheduling thing is great. Tell me a story about what it uses for scheduling as far as scheduling out. Is it scheduling a week out, a month out, a year out? Is that adjustable? How does that work?
You can schedule up to like 5 years out if you wanted to.
Okay. So when I click, I think I just click schedule post. Or I'm sorry, click not schedule. What is the
Bulk
no, maybe
auto
it is.
schedule?
Auto schedule.
Hmm.
Auto schedule. I think that's it. I should know
Yeah.
this by heart, but I don't. So auto schedule, what is that? I just trust. It's putting it out there at a good time. Help me out with when is that putting it out there? I didn't even pay attention when it was going out to being
Yeah, so that depends on how much content you have gone out. But essentially, what auto schedule does for those listening is it instead of you going one by one and scheduling each piece of short, you can just click a button and we'll schedule all your shorts for you. And so what that will do is it speeds up the workflow for you. And essentially, what you do is the first time you go through, you pick the days and times that you prefer. So, say you want Monday and you want, you know, 10 to 12, 1 to 2, etc. You do the same for Tuesday, etc. So, once you set the schedule that you want your content to go out, every time you go to auto schedule, we'll look at what's the next available slot, and then schedule the next piece of content from there. So, you have 10 pieces of content and you pick 10 slots that you like from Monday through Friday. So each day you have two slots. We'll schedule out that 10, and then the next 10, let's say, will be the following week, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of how it's done.
gotcha. And working in the agency that you had and with Taja, have you found certain times of day or certain days are better? Or there's just so much content
It
being
depends
out
on the
there?
niche and the person. I always
Okay.
like to schedule out in the morning, so I like 10 a.m.
Okay.
because it lets a post go through the whole day. So I kind of like that element. But it depends on the content and the niche. I mean, YouTube Studio has it for you. It actually tells you when the best times and when your audience is active. So you kind of look at that to see. But yeah, I kind of just like the mornings.
Gotcha. Fair. Tell me a story about the blog thing because I didn't even know you had that as an option.
Yeah, so that's something where, like I said, essentially what we want to do is help you. You make the video, we'll make the video work for you. So that one video that you make, we want to figure out how can we make that into 30 pieces of content that you can put out everywhere, and so that multiple people can consume it in different places, um, so that you can maximize your reach. So, um, the blog's a different element where a lot of people like to turn their video into a blog post. So a lot of customers would come to us and be like, I really, before we had blogs, and say, I use your transcription, take that into ChatGPT and generate a blog. So we just decided to just build that out in the platform and consolidate that workflow so that now you're not doing that process. You're just using it under one, and we're able to speed up that workflow for you.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to dig into that more. And then you also said thumbnail creation. Is that right?
Yes.
So, is there any guidance that an end user can put in the thumbnail creation, or they just click generate thumbnails and whatever comes out kind of thing?
So there's different elements there. There's two elements. So you could have AI generated thumbnails. So based on your video, etc., you can generate an AI generated thumbnail, which will be like a compelling background, a person in there, all these different elements, captions, etc. You can go in and edit. So if you want to edit, you can put in a picture of yourself. You can do all these different elements. That's one piece. The second piece is you can say you want thumbnails with uh, your face in it. And so what that will do is if you have a talking head video, we'll scan the video for emotional stills, pick those stills out, and then generate the thumbnail with your face in it.
All
So
right,
there's options on the thumbnail side. And each
gotcha.
thumbnail, each time you generate a thumbnail, we generate up to three.
All right, and something like this, where it's long form video, we got two talking heads. Will it grab two?
Yes, as long as it finds there's emotional stills in them. So if it's like
Okay, so we
either
really got to use some expression here.
yeah. So it'll find it'll try to scan the video for stills and then use that.
Gotcha. All right. And then what was the other thing you mentioned in there? Blogs, there's keywords, description, title of the video. I want to ask you about B-roll because I think B-roll is an option on there as well, right?
Yeah, when you generate shorts, you can generate B-roll.
All right. Tell me about the B-roll because sometimes I'm like, this is amazing. And other times, regardless of what platform you use, you're just like, what were you thinking?
It's a miss. Yeah, yeah. No, we're working on fine tuning that. We're taking another level with our shorts here in the next month to 2 months. So you should see like a whole different level of shorts generation. But it is a hit or miss. We're actively working to make that stuff better for you. So we
Okay.
actually want to get to a level where we generate shorts for you and it feels like an editor made it, not a lot of times now today with these AI tools, you can tell which platform it came from. Like I can look at a short clip by Opus and be like, that's an Opus clip short.
Oh, that's
Um,
funny.
so we're trying to take that another level by just making it as if you hired an editor that you paid $30 to create this short for you. So that's everything from like dynamically adding B-roll, transition, sound effects, all those different elements into the short for you.
Do you ever see yourself? This is purely selfish question because I got long form video. Do you ever see Tasha being able to do that with long form video?
Um, That is a different space that we see a lot of people in. So like you have your VEDs, you have your, captions is there now. So like a lot of people are there. We want to stick in the lane of like making the video work for you. And we want to just master that. And then from there, we can look into like the pre-production, production phases and how we can make that stuff better. But right now we just want to master post-production.
Gotcha. Fair. I'm trying to think what else I had for questions for you. The the time it takes to produce shorts from, let's just say, an hour video.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use your nomenclature there. Long form content, hour
Yep.
long long form content. What is all going on? We upload that, and you get the little spinny circle thing. I'm just trying to wrap my head around all that has to happen for those shorts to be created, the blog to be created, the title, the keywords, the I know I'm missing some stuff because
The
thumbnail's not created
clips.
until you
Yeah.
click, but all that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. So, um, first, we're pulling the transcription, obviously, understanding what the video's about. We're identifying key moments. At the same time, what's happening is we're downloading the video in the background. Um, and then from there, the downloader and the key moments are talking to each other. So it's like here is the timestamp of this key moment. From there, it'll go find that key moment and that timestamp, and then crop that video vertically. So it'll take that video from horizontal to cropping it, and that'll do like face detection and different elements to help crop that. Once that thing is cropped, it'll then put the it'll then try to find the caption for it. So the title that it should go across, and then subtitles it for you. And then from there, it'll associate the title, the description, the tags, all those different elements. And then from there, it'll present it for you in the interface with an element for you to be able to edit and download that video. So that's what's going on for shorts. And then from there, the transcription is being used. The same element is being used to generate clips. So It's, our transcription is talking to our key moments to figure out what should the clips look like, and then from there, I'll just crop the clips for you and be like, here's some compelling clips that you can repurpose. And then the blog is just taking the transcription and then generating a blog from it. Same thing with the LinkedIn post, and same thing with the thread post.
Got it. So there's a lot going on there. How
Yeah,
did how
it's a
did you end
lot
up
of things. That's why
choosing?
it kind of takes like 15 to 20 minutes to generate.
Yeah, there's. I guess there have been times where I just you upload the video or give it the link or whatever, and then just walk away, come back tomorrow.
Yeah. The biggest thing that takes time is the downloading. So it depends on how long the video is. So like the longer the video, the longer obviously it takes to download, just because it's a lot of data going back and forth.
Sure. How did you end up knowing or choosing a certain AI platform? Because there's a bunch,
Yeah.
of varying degrees of good and bad, and they all have the pros and cons. So, did you choose one and just like, hey, we're in it, so we're running with that, or have you ever
I
bounced
mean, the
between?
way this things works, LLMs are all commodities. So like, if one fails, then we go to the backup, et cetera. But they're all like relatively the same. We just like OpenAI because we feel like they innovate and release things the fastest. And they're kind of the brand leader. So like everyone's kind of using them as the main element, the main LLM, and then everything else is kind of a backup. So we like OpenAI for those reasons. But at any moment, our model could easily go to the next or another model.
Gotcha. Tell me a story about cost from you. I mean, you have to pay to use the OpenAI,
Mm-hmm.
and there's every time I look at a chunk of software that's got an AI element,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say every time, but most of the time, they have credits. And
Yep.
sometimes it's very vague about what those credits get you.
Yeah.
And and I understand to a point because on the consumer level, I'm like, what does it cost for me to do X? And on the provider side, you're like, it kind of depends how much AI juice we need to get it done. So can you just
Mm-hmm.
talk about that whole thing?
Yeah. I mean, for us, we don't. That's a differentiator for us. We don't do a credits based system. We do a video based system. Just because it communicates better for the consumer about what it's easier to understand, instead of like this thing costs 100 credits, instead of just being like it's 5 videos a month or 4 videos a month, whatever. But yeah, on the back end, it is a credit based system. So every time someone uses our platform, we're paying OpenAI for that service. And that also depends. Like I said, our tool is a one stop shop. So like a lot of these credits depend on how you're using the platforms. Like, are you using it just for the SEO, or using it for shorts, or using it for blog generation, text generation, LinkedIn generation. So all those things cost, and they're using different services. So the cost will depend on how you use it.
And for in the case of Taja, can people toggle on and off stuff that they may or may not want?
No, not at the moment.
It's all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or that is
Safer, I
something
suppose,
down the
safer with
road.
companies. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like, well, I could save you some credits because there's certain things that you guys pump out that we don't use. I
Mm.
mean, there's some a lot. I mean, the shorts are the most important thing that we do. You definitely use, but there's other stuff where like I didn't even realize that there was a blog that was being made.
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
No,
there's utility to that.
we're yeah, that is something down the line where we just want you to come in and be like, I just want shorts, and then just put the video link in. We'll generate shorts for you. So we do
Yeah.
want to simplify that UI UX as well, and not just give you everything, but just a specific thing you're looking for.
How have you grown your market for Taja, getting the word out and expanded and gotten more people on board?
Yeah, I mean, in the early days, AppSumo was a big platform for us because it's just early adopters that will, use the platform and give you feedback, and it's a very outspoken community, which is great. Um, so AppSumo
Sometimes
in
to
the
a
early
fault,
days was
right?
big. That also helped with like making YouTube videos about us, etc. Our affiliate program is a good level there for us too. People talk about us, they share um, Taja with their friends and colleagues, so that helps us grow. We run ads, just like a lot of your traditional things you see.
Okay. I imagine the more, I guess, from my perspective, the more users you have, the better, because the platform has to be great, regardless of if you have one user or 100 million users. So it'd be much better, much more lucrative to have 100 million users than to have one.
Yep.
So you
No,
want to
agreed.
expand. But that said, you're only a couple years in, so it takes time to build and grow and get the word out and move it. So that's why you come on a podcast like this, right?
Exactly. No, for sure. So appreciate you having me on.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, just LinkedIn, Ibrahim Mohmed, and then my email for Taj is Ibrahim at Taja.AI.
Nice. And then let's see here. Tell me the website one more time.
www.taja.ai.
All right, that's TAJA.ai. Do you know, this is a curiosity question. So .ai domains are way more expensive than just the .com one.
Yeah,
So is .ai some country code, or is that just
that's just the
pull it off?
next wave.
Say that one
You
more
know,
time.
it's the next wave.
Gotcha. Okay, so where .com was the
Yeah.
one. All right.
Now it's like the .ai is just to differentiate that we're an AI brand or AI business. It's just the next wave.
Gotcha. Okay. I think I want to say it was 70 some dollars. And I was like, whoa,
That's crazy.
that's more than the $12 I was looking at for .coms.
So there's a whole business now in just buying .ai domains and waiting for someone to buy you out.
This was, it's interesting that you say that because this was on, I use pork bun for domains, and they have a universal.com is whatever, $12, something like that. And universal whatever .ai, I think it was 72.
Wow.
And then they have the other ones, I don't know, .cake or .pie, whatever. Doesn't matter. They all had different prices. But I was like, whoa, that's a margin.
Yeah. No, this world's crazy.
So interesting. For some reason in my head, .ai was or is a country code of like, I don't know, Antarctica or something like that, where it just happened to be lucky that those are the initials for artificial intelligence.
Oh,
I don't know
interesting.
if
I
that's
didn't
true.
know that.
But at any rate, maybe that country's making money. I don't know. Oh, let's see here. This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie, Calls on Call Extraordinary Answering Service, as well as the Bold Business Book. If you could do us a huge favor, give us a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, share it with your entrepreneurial friends, your influencer friends, and even if you got some videos that you want to make some shorts out of, Taja is the place to go. Ibrahim, can you tell us again those 5 elements that Taj is putting out?
Yeah, so you put in a video, we'll optimize it for SEO. So your title, description, tags, thumbnails. We'll repurpose the video into shorts, clips, text-based content like a blog, LinkedIn post, thread post, and then you can schedule it out across all your different platforms.
That is crazy. And tell me about the platforms. Are there any, you're talking Twitter, LinkedIn?
Twitter, LinkedIn, X is Twitter. X, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Gotcha. All right. Is Snapchat on there?
No, Snapchat's
No.
not.
Okay. I don't know the game. That's all good. Let's see what else we got here. My name is James Cademan, and Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country, as well as the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur and all of us, available wherever fine books are sold. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, Ibrahim Mohmed, founder of Taja. Ibrahim, I'm going to ask you for that website one more time just for fun.
Yeah, for sure. www.taja.ai. That's TAJA.ai.
Perfect. I love it.
Awesome.
Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night at the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome, and if you do nothing else, enjoy your business.